Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next episode on my talk show. Today, I'm going to be talking with Nivead Appukuttan, who's been working in the IT industry for almost 2 decades now. He's been performing various roles and currently is working as a director of the site reliability engineering with JPMorgan. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Nivead.
Hello, Shamila. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you so much, Nivead, for agreeing to give a talk on my show here today. I know I know this is a Saturday morning for you, and you've taken time away from your family to just spend time here. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for taking time to do this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it's very nice to connect to you after long years.
Sure, Nivead. Same here. Yeah, right. The time that we spent at Yahoo working together, of course, I think that's like they say, right? It bleeds purple. Yahoo bleeds purple. That kind of continues a long, long way, whether you're with Yahoo or not.
Yeah, still I count on my purple t-shirts.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
very fun times. Yeah.
I know. Cool. All right, Nivead, without taking much time, let's get started. Anyway, that you have almost about 2 years, 2 decades of work experience in the IT industry, right? Uh, it would be great if you can kind of quickly have an introduction about your career growth as to how it started off into what you are working as a director today.
Oh, sure, Shamila. So I was fortunate to have, work in multiple roles,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat different to each other, and to be where I'm today.
Mm-hmm.
So to say my career history, I started as a teacher, coaching people on Linux.
Okay.
This was before my Yahoo career, and then I've been in Yahoo. So Yahoo, I spent a long time, and
Uh-huh.
maybe I'm very proud of what I achieved and thankful for what Yahoo, the opportunities Yahoo brought me in. So at Yahoo, I started at the Network Operations Center. We were all
Mm-hmm.
together there,
Mm-hmm.
and then moved on to site reliability, production engineering, and then after Yahoo, I worked with two startups,
Mm-hmm.
short career there. And then currently in JPMorgan, leading their global efforts on cloud platforms as a leader for site reliability. So looking back on the career, I feel it's been a great journey. And how I see things is like, every role I played
Mm-hmm.
had helped me learn something different.
Right.
Remember our times at NOC, very busy place. And I don't remember any time we were being idle, right? So NOC taught me a lot of skills on multitasking, effective communication, have that
Yeah.
customer-centric
Of
approach,
course. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
how to context switch from one to the other and get things done. So this is the things, some of the things, to list there could be even more things I learned. Of course, I earned a lot of friends for the lifetime and from there. And then moving on to sustainability and every other role taught me something different. So I
Mm-hmm.
think
Mm-hmm.
all of these roles, I don't say one was better than the other, but the
Mm-hmm.
learnings I earned in all of these things made me who I am today. And that is what I see, right? Changing your career does not always means you getting the title or something better, but it's always about the earning, the learning comes along with it.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, Nivead. I think that's so very true, right? I think if you're not learning, you're just never growing, right? And to get to what you are today, I think that definitely is like a step by step and over a period of time that you actually grow. So, knowing you personally, Nivead, and working with you, and having been connected over the years, even beyond work, right, for a decade now, I know that you're a people person, right? Because I worked with you, and I also know that you're also, from a technical perspective, you're good at it. We've spoken about how you've kind of mentored me, and along with a couple of others who joined at the same time. That's when you moved out as a senior, and we were just juniors, beginners in the team there, right? So I have seen you both as a people person and from a technology perspective, the go-to guy, right? And that you've moved various roles in your career in the last 2 decades, almost 2 decades, right? You've been switching between an IC role and a manager back and forth, and now that you're a director, right? What, according to you, is more key Is it the technical part of it, or is it the people management skills part of it?
Okay, that's a good question. So think about leadership. So the question is about leadership and technical, being a
Yeah.
technical contributor, right?
Uh-huh.
So think of leadership as two strands. Like one
Mm-hmm.
is your efforts to enhance yourself on yourself effective as a leader, and other is your efforts to enhance the caliber of your team. So one strand is your personal development. The second strand
Mm-hmm.
is making the people around you more successful, more effective, right? And
Mm-hmm.
these two strands are connected. So you cannot be one without the other, right? To lead other people and lead organizations successfully, you need to
Mm-hmm.
develop yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you strive to enhance the effectiveness of the team, right?
Yeah.
So when you lead a
Okay.
technical team, you have to enhance yourself on the technology to effectively lead on that team, right? But when you step into a leadership role,
Mm-hmm.
right, you have to
Mm-hmm.
always know that your role is not just to be the most technical, uh, effective
Engineer.
engineer in
Mm-hmm.
that team, right? So you have to understand that difference, and that's very
Mm-hmm.
important to understand that. So
Mm-hmm.
because when
Mm-hmm.
you're in a leadership role, it's important on what you do and what you do not do,
Right.
right?
Right.
In the leadership role, you need to go more broader. You need
Mm-hmm.
to understand things to the point where your team take over from you. You go deep on a lot of things, but those are things like the strategy, the direction.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
what are the critical things this team and the organization is going to focus? And
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
act like an orchestrator, right? Rather than you going and doing everything yourself, uh, you are going to empower your team, coach, and enable them. Right?
Absolutely.
If you
Yeah.
take over the
Yeah.
role of the engineer, you are setting yourself and your team to failure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So it's important to learn and enhance ourselves, but
Mm-hmm.
this is for the benefits of your team.
Mm-hmm.
You should not play the role of the most experienced engineering as a leader. That is different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, Nivead. I think the key, what you mentioned about where you kind of draw a line saying, hey, I will guide my engineers versus I will do better than my engineers in the team, right? Your role as a leader, kind of that's that fine line between enhancing your technical skills with the latest technology that's required for you in the market versus enhancing your team members to achieve what they need, right? And
Exactly.
not kind of doing their role of what is expected out of them and
Yeah.
saying, hey, like I'm the technical
Yeah.
guy,
So
right?
if you are the most experienced engineer, or your team is dependent on you as an engineer,
Uh-huh,
you
uh-huh.
have set yourself and your team to fail in the long term. Instead,
Got
you should
it.
empower your team to do it rather than you go and you can be great technologists. That's a good thing, but you coach your team to
Yeah,
do it for you,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so core is like coaching the team to deliver instead of you actually going ahead and delivering even from a technical perspective.
Of course.
You
And
kind of
that
guide
is your
them.
role as a leader, to develop others than you develop yours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. Very, very true. Okay, so basically, it's kind of goes hand in hand, like what you mentioned. You are,
Of course, it goes in hand. Yes.
you guys.
Yeah. You said right. So I have switched from an individual contributor to manager
Mm-hmm,
and back to
mm-hmm,
individual contributor multiple
mm-hmm.
times in my career. Right. And this
Yeah,
was not
yeah.
intentional. When the right opportunity came, I used that to move into certain
Right,
roles.
right.
And I
Fast,
enjoy
fast.
playing both. Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So it depends on what you wanted to be focused on at that time. If you want to be
mm-hmm,
focused on
mm-hmm.
engineering, don't be a leader and try to be the engineer at the same time. You choose what you want to do.
Correct,
And
correct.
being an engineer has helped me to become a technical leader. And being a
Uh-huh.
leader helped me to be a better individual contributor in terms of uh, being a good team player. Because
Clear.
when you're a
Yeah,
leader,
yeah.
you understand others' pains, different views
True.
of looking
Yeah,
at things.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that I really applied in my individual contributor career as well, which helped me
Okay.
set it. So
Sure.
that
Yeah.
being said, individual contributors also are managers in certain
Mm-hmm.
things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be a
Mm-hmm.
team players. You have to manage yourself. You have to manage your
Mm-hmm.
coworkers, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Individual contributors role also act as managers, right? I'm just making notes. So, like you said, right, manage your own work, kind of manage working with the others in the team. So that
Yeah,
is a team contribution, right? So continuing on the same, right, the way you touched upon a point saying team player, right? Since I worked with you, right, I've always seen that you've been a great team player, right? How important is that quality today or even in the past that it's been, right? What
yeah,
is your take on that?
yeah. If you have to say, I'd say that that is the most important thing. It
Uh-huh,
has
uh-huh.
been today,
Mm-hmm.
and it was there like that yesterday, and it will be there tomorrow,
Yeah,
right? Something we
okay.
cannot change.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so, and it depends on how do you define this team player. Like it does not mean always being the most vocal or
Yeah,
being
yeah.
the most active or things like that. There are people
Mm-hmm.
who've been very silent but been very nice personalities
Mm-hmm.
that had the opportunities to work with, right? So
True.
how I see this like a great team player is someone who can offer help to others, who will
Mm-hmm.
actively listen,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
respect others,
Mm-hmm.
and celebrate others' success, right? So what I see here is like, be a good human, and that will make
Mm-hmm.
you a great team player. Treat your team members with respect, right? So practice this
Mm-hmm.
in your life. You become a great human being. You will naturally become a great team player, and
Mm-hmm.
this will
Mm-hmm.
set you for your own success, your team success, and organization success.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Awesome, Nivead. I think you are an example of that. As like I said, as much as I've known you and what you are today, right? A great team player, and definitely, like I've said in the past, the go-to guy for anything, whether it's like the most simplest, silliest question to anything complex. Because NOC used to deal with all of these P1 outages, and it's so difficult to understand how the architecture works. And then you have the RCA and so many other questions that pop up, right? The amount of patience you have, both from explaining it from a technical perspective to have someone understand who does not know how that works at the back end is not an easy task, right? I think that part of you where you kind of make it simple so that put it in layman's language, so that anybody who is non-technical also understands how something happened and how that was fixed, right? And that
I said
said,
about uh,
uh-huh,
my different experience helping me later, right? This is one
uh-huh.
example because I said I was a teacher in my early
Right.
life. A teacher is someone who simplifies things and explain to
Absolutely.
people. That has really helped me in my other later part of my career.
Okay. So it's all kind of tied together over the years, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a
Yes.
great example of how to simplify things. I don't think when you started as a teacher, you would have ever thought that, future somewhere, I will be kind of moving forward where I will be doing technical work, but kind of translating that to a layman's language, right? But that kind of works so well, actually,
Yes.
right? Cool, cool, Nivek. For the success that you had in your career, right? It's like we've been talking, it's almost 2 decades and you've grown over the period. And now that you're director with JP Morgan, right? What do you think, or what would you say is your key or secret ingredient to what you are today that maybe
Okay.
you would like to share with the
Uh,
others?
no secret sauce in here.
Mm,
So
mm,
all thing I said, start with, be a good human being, be a good team player, have curiosity to look into things, learn things, and be flexible enough to move on with the change, right? Uh,
yeah.
that's a key thing. And then also you need to have a good self-assessment of who you are, what's your
Mhm,
capabilities, what are the areas you need to develop, right? So I would advise
mhm,
everyone to have a mentor. A mentor is like a
mhm,
trusted advisor, someone who you know
mhm.
very well personally, and this can apply in your life as well, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So mentors are people you can connect with for personal development and professional growth as well, right? It will help you gain valuable advice from a more experienced person in there,
Right,
right?
right.
And
Mhm,
who
mhm,
will give us a candid feedback, reflect
mhm,
on you, and
mhm,
tell you where you're lacking currently and what you need to do to overcome those shortcomings. So when you try to take
mhm,
that smaller steps,
mhm,
try
mhm,
to overcome your difficulties,
mhm,
you get better over and over, in your life and in your career. So remember, when I always say about career, I mix it up with life because I think this all interrelated, right? Um, so I'll definitely recommend everyone having a mentor, understand
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Okay.
and
Okay.
try to improve every time, year over year, month over month. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, Nivead. Thank you so much, Nivead. I think that was super useful. I think the key here was having a mentor, right, from the conversation that we've had, based on your experience and what you are today. The key that I've kind of made notes around is like be flexible to change, right? And the whole emphasis that you did on the leadership point of view, right? You coach and develop your team, right?
And you need
And
to continuously learn. So that's the importance of mentorship, right?
mhm,
Every
mhm,
You need to have it at every level. Don't think that you are
mm,
done once you reach certain level. Think about when you talk about mentorship, right?
mhm,
So Steve Jobs was a mentor to Mark Zuckerberg, right? Mark Zuckerberg has a mentor, and
uh, uh, uh,
uh, Marisa, when she took in charge of Yahoo
mm,
CEO, she said
mm,
Eric
mhm,
Schmidt,
mhm,
one of the Google
mm.
chairman, was her
Was
mentor.
a mentor. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and what example? Warren Buffett is a mentor
Mhm.
of Bill Gates. Not that Bill Gates don't know anything, right? He's
True,
successful in his
true.
own, but he's trying to improve. So that is the
Right, right.
importance of having a mentor and keep on developing.
Okay. So continuous learning, irrespective of whatever growth you've achieved in your
Yes,
career, is key. Okay,
that's
that definitely is important. Thank you so much, Nivead. I think the key takeaways, that I have, and probably the others who are listening or watching this also, is like, right, having a mentor, be it in your career or even if it's required outside your career, and continuous learning. Never stop learning anything new, right? And the core thing that you mentioned about leadership, where to draw a line on your technical skills, where, and then a difference between coaching and developing your team versus enhancing your technical skills to ensure that you are updated with the latest technology that's required in the industry and the market, right? And of course, your most important trait as a team player, right? That you celebrate others' success. And this probably is an innate quality that you need to be a good human and respect others is also core, right? Yeah, yeah. Cool. That was a lot of it, Nivead. Thank you so much. This definitely has been super useful. And thank you so much for taking time and talking to me today. This is definitely useful. Thanks again.
Thanks again, Shamla, for having me today. And I
Sure,
just want to
Nivead.
say that I was following your channel, and it's a very nice
Yeah,
initiative. And it's good to hear from a lot of people who are like you
yeah,
on how was your journey and how they've been
yeah,
successful. As I said,
right, right.
all these things has been learnings for
Yeah,
someone,
yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. Thank you, Nivead. Thank you so much for
Thanks
taking
once
time
again.
today.
We have a good
Good
one.
luck. Yeah, thanks, Nivead.